Thank you, Deepa. It really resonated with me when you talked about troop. I live in Vienna. I was born in Los Angeles. I come from a Hispanic heritage. I moved to Austria 25 years ago. Troop for me means control yourself. I was brought up to learn to have self-control and to control my desires, my wishes, and to fit and conform into the society that I was being brought up in. I was raised as a Catholic, which means that the Catholicism is very ritualistic. It's very beautiful, and it is a faith that I choose today to follow. However, a lot of it, what was instilled with me was actually based on thoughts of being proper, being a lady, being correct, being well dressed, well perceived. It didn't matter if you had a lot of money or not, but that you should basically be seen as a lady. You went to church, you dressed as a lady. You went out, you dressed as a lady. As a Hispanic woman, as a Mexican, the Virgin Mary is our example of what a woman should be like. She was kind, she was generous, a good mother, a good wife through all the difficulties, raising this Christ child, knowing that he was going to die, and she bore this pain in silence. So for me, that was my image of how I should be as a woman, to bear my pain in silence, to keep silent about those who hurt me, to keep silent about being exploited, to be silent about the things that I know that were wrong, that were being done to me, and to allow it to happen. Because I thought maybe by gently loving and by the power of love, I would be able to show my strength by giving and giving and giving. But unfortunately, ladies, sometimes when you give so much and you love so much and you're generous, these people who exploit you, even the ones that love you, think that your generosity is based on stupidity or ignorance. They don't know that the real strength that you have is within your heart, within the power of yourself. What that meant for me or impacted on me was, in order to be successful and viewed as successful, it all determined on the exterior of who I was and how people would perceive me, not knowing that I didn't even know how I perceived myself. And it was a bit of a challenge for me, because at a young age, at 17, I got pregnant. And being pregnant in my family as an unmarried Catholic girl was not acceptable. It meant that I had not controlled myself. So I got pregnant, and this is what happens to bad girls. And bad girls get in trouble. I had no idea that that wasn't true. It was just these beliefs and these concepts and these ideas that were instilled with me as a young child, based on religion, superstition, heritage, all of that put into one. And my family never really shunned me. I shunned myself based on the ideas of how I was raised, because I didn't conform to being a lady. I didn't conform to controlling myself. And I also didn't conform to what my family thought was proper. That allowed me to engage and be involved with a man that unfortunately exploited me, who hurt me, who abused me. And it took a lot of courage and my second child to get out of this horrible circumstance and to be honest with my family with what was going on, because I shunned my family. My family never shunned me. I shunned them, because I was ashamed. I was ashamed that I brought shame by being pregnant at 17. I brought shame to my father, to my sisters, to my relatives. And I decided by myself to isolate myself and to figure out how can I get out of this. And although I left this gentleman when the girls were relatively young, it still hurts them today to even hear me talk about it. But I think it's important to say that yes, you can get out of an abused situation. You can rethink your thinking. I went to an abused women's center. And I learned they accepted me external. So I used to go there with my two babies just to get some of the basic tools. And that's where I learned that controlling yourself or some of the preconceived notions, which were meant for what my basic well-being as a human, as a woman, were actually which were actually good things, but were set up in such a way that it allowed me to be exploited by the people I loved, men, even today, children, my husbands, my friends. So, Deepa, when you talk about chup, I think about control, or as we used to say in Spanish when my father called me, was mande usted. Mande usted means, how may I serve you? So just think, when I was a little kid, at 3 to 5 years old, I was already being taught to serve, to cook, to serve, to clean, and to be happy to do it, to find joy. And funny enough, I don't mind to do it. I love cooking. I love serving my family, but it's a choice. It's not a task. So yes, today I do control myself. Today I do make choices about where I want to be generous, how I will be generous, how I will embolden or empower those that I love and those I don't know to become better people, or to give them the strength that I did not have when I was 17. I think control yourself means, for me today, a completely different thing than what it was imposed or what was taught to me before. Controlling yourself can be a positive, or it can be a negative. It all depends on how you use it for your thinking. And remember, the only person that really we shun ourselves by the way we think. We need to get rid of that little voice that stops us from doing it. Control yourself today means, for me, success, my environments, the things that I'm doing and enjoying. By accident, really by accident, I became a successful businesswoman. And today, together with my husband, we own several companies. But you got to fight. You got to get down deep inside, and you have to find a way. Because if you're listening to this, then you know already that you want out. You know already that you want to have your voice heard. You know already you're ready to be seen and to make a difference. So please go for it.